We're at our garage and test facility. Let's press the magic button and see what we're rolling out today. Well, looks like I'm still on the A list. They sent me a nice brand new Lexus, a UX250h. That means it's a hybrid. And it appears we've got the top of the line F Sport, which costs more money, of course. Always like the styling of these small Lexus SUVs. I like the styling of the UX. Even better with this metallic orange paint. I'll bet it costs extra. We'll look at the price sheet later and see. Pretty attractive from the side as well. Looks as good as any German SUV I've seen lately. And by the way, we also tested a 2019 Lexus NX300h hybrid right there, and did a video on the 2019 Lexus RX450h hybrid over there. We'll have links to those videos at the end of this video. Just go to the end, click and watch. The UX comes in a non-hybrid if you're interested, with a 2-liter gasoline engine putting out 169 horsepower, rated at 33 mpg overall. In the hybrid, we get a 2-liter engine putting out 143 horsepower. However, if you add the battery system, charging system, electric motors, total output is 181 horsepower, which I calculate to be just a wee bit more than the non-hybrid. That's the good news. And with one electric motor up front for the front wheels, electric motor in the rear for the rear wheels. It is an official 4-wheel drive, according to Lexus. I'm told there's a third motor in the middle somewhere for a total of 3. Could be true. The disadvantage, this adds a lot of weight, around 350 pounds last time I looked at the spec sheet. So it's really no quicker in the 0 to 60 time in the real world. The advantage here is the claimed fuel economy. This is what they claim. We'll be racking up some real miles in the real world to see if this is true. There's some other differences between the UX non-hybrid and the hybrid we have here. The most important is the smaller gas tank, just a hair over 10 gallons. Of course, the advantage is you get better fuel economy, they say, so the range should be the same, but 10 gallons isn't much. Number 2, because of all the electronics underneath the panel here, your storage space drops from 22 cubic feet to 17, although you get more if you put the second row seats down, of course. And number 3, there's no room for a spare tire, so you don't get one. So if you get a flat, you're out of luck. Here's what it looks like underneath, by the way. No room for a spare tire, but lots of room to store other things in there. Although I don't think I'd put anything down here if it could catch on fire. There's about 1,000,000 volts circulating down here. The good news is if you order the F Sport package, you not only get larger tires, you get run flat tires. So if you do get a flat on the pavement, you might be able to go 40-45 miles to a repair center. Of course, that doesn't mean much if you're out in the middle of nowhere going off-road, which this vehicle really isn't intended for. We'll talk about that later when I take this off-road. This brings us to the price tag. The UX starts at $33,000. The hybrid starts around $35,000. But when you get the F Sport, you're up to a bit more. Most of the F Sport package is cosmetic. I won't read the list here, it's too long, but there is one feature I do like about it. You get this knob here, normal driving, eco driving, or the sport mode if you're in a hurry. This is a CVT automatic transmission, a gearbox most of us hate in the real world, but with the F Sport, you can shift manually with these paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which gives you 6 separate gears to simulate a real transmission, if you're so inclined. The F Sport starts at $36,000. Here's some options for you. And the price tags. Yep, like I figured, an extra $595 for this nice orange paint. Fully loaded, this is what you're going to see at the dealer. Not very many bulbs in the headlight system. Let's take these out in the dark and see what happens. It's dark enough. Let's take these headlights out and see what they do. Look pretty bright to me. Here we have the lights on the building 100 feet away, very bright, but not much height on low beam. High beam, not too bad. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away, very bright, good spread. Go to low beam, very bright, but only about 180 to 200 feet, more than adequate for city driving. And when you turn the steering wheel, you get side lights for taking corners and parking lots. We'll take a quick look at the cabin. First of all, the rocker panels are nice and narrow. You won't be rubbing your legs on here. And it stays clean because on the outside, the door comes all the way down to the bottom. No way for dirt to get on here and get your pants dirty. Thank you, Lexus. You got the design right. If only the Germans could copy this. The glove box has plenty of room, but only if you take out that monster-sized owner's manual and toss it under the trunk lid I showed you earlier. We get a very nice gauge cluster that can be modified by pressing the right button. Controlling the infotainment system on many Lexus vehicles, you get a swizzle stick that works pretty good. On this one, you get a finger touch pad, which doesn't work very well. I don't like these things. They're easy to operate when you're sitting still, but when you're driving down the freeway, not so much. But with a bit of practice, this is what you can do. If you want air conditioning or heated seats, simple press of a button will do it, which is a lot better than scrolling to an infotainment system as on other vehicles. The radio controls are unique. The tuning knob is here. Volume, media. Hey, it works. And easy to reach. I'm not complaining. The only beef I had with the interior is this easy entry and exit seat. You turn off the car, the seat rolls back, you get in, it rolls forward. I don't like that. I'm trying to turn it off. I've gone through the manual. I don't know if I can. I'm spending too much time trying to find out, so I'll just leave it to you guys to figure out. I give up. Alright, that's first half of the video, show and tell. Second half, we're going to go out and do some real driving in the real world and see if we can get some real fuel economy figures, instead of those fake EPA figures that other YouTube testers try to pawn off on you. All Lexus cars have an excellent power steering system. Even though it's electric, it feels hydraulic, like the old days. Why can't the Germans do this? Once again, Japanese technology rules. Anytime you put run flat tires on a vehicle, you're going to end up with more noise and stiffer ride comfort or discomfort, as it may be. Let's see what happens on this vehicle. As we do in all our tests, we're going to drive over some mild speed bumps around 20 miles per hour to judge the impact performance. With the suspension, here comes bump number 1. Very smooth, I'm surprised. Number 2. Number 3. Very comfortable. Here comes the nasty one. Hang on to your life. Pretty smooth on that one too. Evidently the suspension is so well designed, the negative features of the run flat tires aren't so obvious. Down here is a speed bump I never use. It's treacherous. Really gives you an impact. So I'm going to do 10 miles per hour. Very, very slow just to see what happens. Again, pretty smooth. Again, Lexus did an excellent job on suspension design. That's why you're paying 40 grand, right? Before we leave, let's take a little run on our turning circle. I put it in the sport mode to liven up the steering and transmission shift points, although it shouldn't make much difference on this. Very little bodily lean and hugging the road like a champ. There we got a little wheel spin. I think the all-wheel drive design helped a bit. Car and Driver tested one of these for a week and averaged 31 mpg in mixed commuting. Looks like I'm doing slightly better at 33.8 mpg in mixed commuting. That's in the past 4 days of driving. We're going to reset this and do some freeway trips. See if we can bump up the number. So don't go away. As a rule, hybrid vehicles don't do as well on the highway as they do in the city, because in the heavy city traffic, they're running off a battery, not so much on freeway trips. But that's not always true. I guess we'll find out when we pull over down the road. There you go, 75 miles per hour, a good bit of passing. We were not using the cruise control. 37.1 mpg. I've got some ranch patrolling to do, so we're going to stop by the ranch house and get some supplies, and I still haven't fixed that roof yet. One of these days. So can this hybrid be taken off-road? Well, there's enough ground clearance to do so if you're careful. There are two things you have to keep in mind. Number one, there's a long nose on the front end, so your approach angle isn't very steep. You want to avoid those big dips. And again, the lack of a spare tire. In this case, not much of an issue because I have the run flats. And in the back, a very extensive tire repair kit with air pumps, stop leak, and other things that might get me out of here if I have a problem. So yes, it can be taken off pavement. Just keep in mind that basically you're driving a car, not a truck. Light duty use only. One advantage, the all-wheel drive system does give better traction when you're driving through sand. Although I wouldn't make a habit out of it. Not with these tires. Okay, ranch patrol duties are over. Time to head back to town and wrap up this video. So after a week of driving, what's my take on this Lexus UX hybrid? Hey, if you're interested in a hybrid, want a high quality, well-built vehicle, you don't mind the compact size, I say go for it if you have the money. On the other hand, if you have more money, here's some more expensive Lexus SUV hybrids we've driven lately. Just click and watch. And subscribe. I still need the money.